Alright, I think a lot of people, including myself, are not choosing to enjoy life. I've had this terrible mindset of always thinking in the future and never being in the present. I have realized I live in a cycle of always waiting for the moment to be happy. For example, when I'm done with work, I'll finally be happy, and then when I'm done working out, then I'll be happy. And sometimes it's more long term where I'll think, when I finally graduate, then I'll be happy. This goalpost I have is constantly moving and never allowing me to be happy. I don't know if it's from some crazy dopamine loop I have or some sort of depression, but I'm always anticipating being happy instead of being just happy right now. And I feel like I can't be the only one with this issue. I've noticed there's been stretches in my life where I should have been totally happy and content, but I was always filled with anxiety and stress for really no apparent reason at all. I finally started to notice the cycle more and more when I'm in situations that aren't stressful, but I always kind of feel like a little bit of a sense of impending doom anyway. Even though I'm good right now, I'm thinking about something that I don't want to do in like the following week. And that's really absolutely no way to live, and I'm pretty much just choosing not to enjoy it. I feel like I desire to be happy all the time when there's no reason why I can't be this way in the present moment. I feel like I always deep down want more and more, and I'm never satisfied with what I have. I have this bad relationship with desire, but so many people would kill for my current life. So, when will the desire end and the actual fulfillment begin? I think relationship with stress can be a big issue. For example, I can look at a situation that can be considered good, but only point out the negative aspects of it. Like, instead of being excited for an upcoming date, I'll only be stressed out about if she likes me or not. Instead of being excited for an interview about a job that I really want, I'm only stressed out about making a fool of myself. I don't quite know why I do this, but it feels so ingrained and automatic. And sometimes I think I'm the only one that feels like this, but I know it affects many others too. Where I think I subconsciously loved the stress. I would live in a sort of adrenaline high that I didn't realize I was doing, where to the point that the weekends would feel dull and I would feel guilty for not doing anything. So I was never allowing myself to be happy and instead choose to be stressed all the time. So I'm really wondering how I can live in the present and enjoy every moment that I'm alive. I think the big question that I'm really asking myself is if there's anything stopping me from being happy right now. I've always tried to look forward to the time where I can be happy and all the things that I've worked for end up actually being worth it. But there's really never going to be a concrete moment or time that the answer I'm looking for is ever going to come. Being content with just living now is the closest thing to that answer. I think I have to keep telling myself that until it becomes a reality, because I think that's really the only way I want to live without becoming literally insane. And reflecting on it, it feels like my whole life I've been living in this anticipation for life to be better, but instead I just need to live it even though it's not perfect or at my high expectations. I need to realize my desire to want more is only my brain's automatic response and just pretty much due to all the chemicals in my brain. I mean, I should realize that it's only part of my human condition and not to stress out when I feel like I'm not being enough, or not to stress out when I start comparing myself to others. There was a time when it was important for the human brain to think like this for survival, but now it feels like I'm using this response negatively. I'm only using it to be sad and to crave to be better instead of realizing that I'm enough now and being my true self is the only way to live. Because I believe being yourself and letting go of your past grief or guilt is the only true way to live, and necessary to be able to live in the present. Of course, this is way easier said than done and super hard to reverse, but instead of being mad, of being stressed out about the future or the past, I should just understand that it's hard to undo this and I should be happy that I'm just making an effort. To bring this back to the start, I think I've always been able to be happy in the present moment, but I for some reason have learned that being stressed out and overthinking helps me do things. However, 99% of my life, the present is overall pretty positive. And I would hope that's true for most people watching this too. So I would recommend that the best start is understanding that it's really hard to rewire your brain, especially when it comes to stress. And if you try your best trying to live in the present moment, but it feels like it's really hard for your brain to stop thinking about the future or the past, knowing that resisting these thoughts is part of the process and telling yourself that it's okay to enjoy this present moment, even though it might not feel perfect, is really key. So, overall, I hope that this was at least relatable to some people so I don't just sound like an insane person. So, yeah, thank you for watching the full video. I really appreciate it, but that's about it. See ya.